Have you ever wondered what would happen if Germany and France went to war? You may be thinking France would win easily and overtake Germany right rapidly, but Germany has a few advantages with population and GDP. And although France may be able to overrun that with the military, it would not be fast and would probably take years, and I would see a lot of resistance against France. And well, although this is unlikely, which it is, it's impossible right now, so it will work. I'll get rid of NATO and the EU and stuff that in the UN and stuff like that, because that would make this definitely be over for Germany. And well, hi guys, welcome to today's video. In today's video, we'll look into a scenario in which France and Germany goes to war. And to start it off, we'll have a German offensive, because Germany gets to go first because they started the war. Because they're the bad boys. And now for an invasion into Alsace-Lorraine area of France. Crossing the border. Quickly, they manage to solidify this front before France can get ready. And with their population, they start a mass mobilization, and they start converting factories so they can make better military equipment. And they bring all their weapons to try to secure naval supremacy and air supremacy, although they would fail at that. France finally makes a counter-offensive in Alsace-Lorraine. And as you can see, Germany, to bring more supplies in, decides to go the Belgium-Luxembourg route. Yeah, this is what they do. But because it would be unfair to not bring Britain in. And they quickly overrun Belgium. So France will have trouble getting forces in. And as France attempts to help liberate it, Germany continues its offensive into France, which their plan was to distract French forces into Belgium. Although France is mobilizing, and Germany is increasing its military size to hold on to this. As they then take what else they wanted. As they make a risky offensive towards Paris. And as I said, risky. Before they could even get towards Paris, an encirclement almost developed, with the army having to withdraw. And then over here, France launches an attack. This is to split the forces in this area. And well, German forces are pushed into Belgium. They're about to be pushed out while they make an attempt to try to hold this. And they end up not doing much. And this front falls with a French victory. And as you would expect, well, Germany isn't able to win. But they manage to hold for a while with an offensive into the Rhineland, as that's probably important because there's a few major cities. And cities are important. As France crosses into the southern Rhineland province or state or federal place, whatever it's called, and into the Saarland area towards the Rhine. As I believe this is a good area to set up a defensive, but German forces managed to push this back in the north and away towards the border. But French forces bring the Netherlands in, with Germany distracted there. They bring the Netherlands in. You may be wondering why? Well, because the Netherlands can help them get across the Rhine River to attack Germany past it. And French forces use this along with Dutch forces to cross in the north above the Rhine River, and then they start taking lands along the Rhine River as panic starts setting in among German forces. And Germany manages to get across the Rhine River in two areas. But not long after, they get pushed back out of this area. And with this, they fail to be able to cross the river again. Even though they try, they fail. And now they're on the defensive. As they set up a defensive here. Yeah. And what they do is they try to push it back to the Rhine, although unsuccessful. But in the northern front, they manage to push further. With France crossing the border into Baden-Württemberg. And they take lands. Occupation by France is very likely at this point, with them moving to take Munich and Nuremberg somehow. They're both there to take. With German forces being drove out of the southern part of their country, although they still believe they can take it back as they launch an offensive in the south too, but both fail. And with this, France is fully mobilized. Yeah, France is fully mobilized. And they use this to launch an offensive in the north to take Hamburg, which they succeed in, and then they take the Schleswig-Holstein region. And with Germany starting to get a big section of their country cut off, they have to retreat to make it so they can't get cut off. And then they have to fully retreat, with desertion and other problems plaguing the military. And well, they take Berlin. And as Berlin fell, Germany surrendered. Let's see the peace treaty. As they couldn't fight back at that point and their military was destroyed, they had no choice but to surrender. So let's see the peace treaty. And it'll be harsher because of the weakened state annexed by France, and then some border territories and most of Baden, with the rest of South Germany becoming the Bavarian puppet state. Not Bavarian, and not a puppet state, Bavaria. And well, the Netherlands gained some lands in the Rhineland, along with lands along Germany's north coast, almost to Hamburg, but not quite. And over here, it goes to about Hesse, I would say. Hesse, the state. Or Upper Saxony, maybe? And then they gain a small amount of lands in the Rhineland. Belgium gained barely anything. And as you can see, Germany had no chance of winning. And well, that's all for today's video. Please like, subscribe, and comment. Wild Mapper out, and on till you subscribe. Bye, guys!